Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to JV Trading News. Today's date is 24 today, September 2025. I'll be giving you newspapers review shortly. First one is CBN Cites GDP growth declining, inflation for slashing interest rates to 27%. When you hear this kind of news, you're surprised at from which percent, how many percent was it before? That's the question you will ask. Now, surprisingly, the percentage was just 27%, 27.5%, from 27.5% to 27%. Tell me, what is the, I mean, it's very any significant percentage that has reduced to, that has been slashed? The word, it is abuse of word, using the word slash. There's nothing like slash in this point here because it does not add up at all because the percentage is just 0.5%. It's not even up to 1%, and that's what they call it slashing interest rate. So, this country we are talking about, just using media and using information, just be saying certain things, but the reality is definitely not the same. Meaning that they will say something, but a lot of Nigerians are not seeing the impact that those kind of things, the progress, the advancement, the just growth they are claiming that is happening. Which one is GDP growth again? But at the end of the day, most Nigerians, the civil servants, the labor worker, laborers, they don't really see this kind of impact because the other earning is the same thing. Although it is already devalued already, when the naira is devalued, so when the appreciation of naira, attacked the country, it affected all sectors except the politicians, those who are just spending money. The more the inflation rises, the more they budget for themselves. So let's look at the next one. First Lady Remi Tinubu raises 20.7 billion for National Library, urges Nigerians to complete historic project. Now she said that it is in one account by December before the account will be shut down. But the Minister of Education is signatory to that account, and also one person again. So let's see how it goes. Police uncovers 4.8 billion naira theft at Kainji power plant. So this money is based on the vandalism. What happened? What these guys, all these chief security officers who are in the plant, in the facility area, they noticed that they were receiving 11 million naira, and also one person 12 million naira. And then they were going to discover that these people vandalized the equipment meant for the electricity, and then they arrested 12. And according to this, where they sold those parts, all this equipment, is from since 2023 and 2023 when Tinubu came on board, and then that's when it started. Then they sold it to Ilorin company in Ilorin, Osun, and one state. So I hope that they get justice, that they cover all the stolen items. That this is very, very, it's not small money. Then the next one is mass stabs relative to death over land dispute in Anambra State. Now, the issue now is that this is about 48 years old versus 65-year-old man. It is relative, and again, the person is used the dagger and pierced the man in the chest, and that's how the person gave up the ghost. By the time they arrived at the hospital, they realized that the man has given up the ghost. So the person is going to, police is already carry out investigation, and they're going to see what they're going to do. They prosecute the man. So on top, because of land, it becomes murderer. The next one is what 411% revenue rise won't stop FG borrowing, says Adedeji, FRSC chairman. This is Zach Adedeji. He made this statement even when Tinubu said in around early September, early this month, that the government already achieve or arrived at the target for the year, meaning that they already made a lot of money. The government has generated a lot of money already. So the point now is that, let's say that because of that does not mean that because of that they will not stop borrowing, because borrowing is meant for development, that they already put it in the budget that they're going to borrow this social amount of money. And then Senate, they also approve it. So approved loan is going to still be taken, even though when the government already generated enough the targets for the whole year. So what's happened from now, from the early September till December, where this money will be going? It will be going to some people's pockets, and again the debt is still there, and then debt servicing too is part of it. Issues that we're supposed to be talking about to see how we pay off our debts, and then how to strengthen our currency so that the country will be able to get back to their feet, because it's already collapsing. Nigeria is collapsing based on the fact that majority of Nigerians could not afford to eat 3 square meal, even just if it's possible 0.11 or 0.0. Mostly people eat 0.011 or 0.10 or 0.100. So we are just going through a lot of hardship in the country, and the poverty, rate is very high. Let's look at this one. We don't monitor such. Guinness World Record rejects Mandy Kiss 100 men in one day at times. This 100 men in one day at times is something like, this girl claimed that she wants to sleep with 100 men, and then this was somehow impossible. I mean, looking somehow awkward, and then she was trending in X. She made it clear that her name is Mandy Kiss. Mandy Kiss, that's what she's known for, and she made this such statement. And it became issue of controversial issues talking about this, and why these kind of dirty things that she's into. But at the end of the day, the Guinness World Record already made it clear that they are not into this dirty stuff. So she should learn to look for something else. Maybe perhaps look for something not sexual. I mean, not anything related to sexual perversion or anything nonsense like this. Because it doesn't make sense at all. It's not ethical. It's not something meant to be breaking. So the next one is 8.41 trillion oil theft drains economy and fuels investor to doubts. Now in 2021, that is according to the amount. Before you arrive this amount, since 2025 till July 2025, that is when he said that this is the money that that's been lost. And this is very, very shocking, and this is very sad, because this one is, it may compare it with the 1 trillion naira budget for the road construction or road repairs or road maintenance. They're talking about the health sector, about 2 trillion naira budget for the 2 trillion for the 2025 budget, national budget. And then it's talking about that a triple education something too. Election budget, money budgeted for education, that this money will have been used for better things. If the government, and this is 2021, this when Buhari was the president of the nation, and he was also the minister of the petroleum, and this is very sad that APC actually could not really talk much about it, because it is more of like their own. Because it's from Buhari. Buhari used to be the key, their hero, is Baba, and according to the slogan in early 2025, or during the time when he just came on board as the president in the country. So now, they could not even say much about it. They're just trying to be dazzling and pushing around, just be parabolating around the bush without doing anything, without addressing the major issues about this oil theft. Instead of them to be talking about subsidy removal, which also leads to floating of naira too. And that is a very, very sad situation. But we just hope that Nigeria gets better. So let's look at the next one. This is how far I can go today because of time. I believe that you have seen what and what is happening, and a lot of news happening. So, by God's grace, we'll see you tomorrow for another interesting episode of JV Trading News, and this Super Review. Remain blessed.